I have an intro for this movie. This thing is incomprehensibly, unforgivably bad, and I am so upset we decided to watch it. Roll the intro.
All right, listen here, Josh. I have watched this movie every year for the past 5 years.
Oh my god, Ben, I understand why you are the way you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
It all makes sense now.
Hello and welcome to Star Wars Every Christmas for Christmas. Let's do it again. What did you want me to say, Chris?
Do you want me to do the intro for the holiday special?
Sure, I'm fine with that.
All right, I'm going to count down like a human being. 3, 2, hold on. Hello. Welcome to this very special edition of the podcast. This is Star Wars Every Christmas Forever, where we have begun a new tradition that I'm now making official right now. Where we watch weekly Star Wars mainline movies every week forever. We're watching the Star Wars Holiday Special, the original, every Christmas season forever.
You're a real bastard.
It's all right. This one could just be me and Chris every year, Josh. You can opt out.
So, having drank a lot tonight already and being able to do the intro, Josh, how was your watch?
Do you want me to say the nice thing that isn't about the Star Wars Holiday Special, but I personally took from this? Or do you want me to just say it sucked, which it did?
I mean, if you want to be a fucking Grinch about it.
I am thankful that I watched it this year until you decided to make it official that we were going to watch it every year, which I didn't want to do until I guess that's out in the public now. Okay. I was about to say I'm extremely thankful that we decided to watch one Star Wars movie every week forever rather than something this bad or something equally as bad to it. Because, we bitch and moan on this podcast. Also, hi from the closest you'll probably ever get to us being live. We bitch and moan a lot on this podcast because this process of making the mainline Star Wars Every Week Forever episodes is mind-numbing at times. But none of those movies, including the ones we hate the most, are as bad as this, are as incomprehensibly, unforgivably as bad as this. And I was going to say that I'm thankful that we didn't choose to watch something like this or something else awful for the rest of the time. But now I have to watch it once a year, every year for the rest of my life, and I need more vodka.
That's all very nice, very festive. Ben, how was your watch?
I had a blast. Slight disappointment. No pod race.
Hate you.
Just getting it off
But
right
I
off
had
the bat.
fun.
Fucking
Rick McCallum. Okay, we're done. Can we stop now?
I did get a pod race.
My watch was confusing.
Hold on. What? Oh, we'll talk about that later. Your watch was confusing?
My watch was confusing because I've never seen this before.
Neither had I.
And I watched this at like 6 o'clock in the morning after I watched The Mandalorian. And boy, did I not have enough caffeine in my system yet. I was going into it expecting bad, but wow, I was not anticipating what I I was gonna say what I experienced, but I'm gonna go with what was done to me.
That's more accurate, yeah.
Yeah, fucking A. I fully understand why George Lucas has gotten as much distance from this as possible.
Can we address the elephant in the room at the start?
I mean, which elephant in a room filled with
There's
elephants?
There's one elephant that is far larger than the others. There's blackface in this holiday special. There's like actual blackface in this holiday special. That was the moment where I was like, I don't want to commit to this for the rest of my life. There's like actual blackface in this movie, in this holiday special. This holiday special.
Yeah. Look, can we just real quick before we dive deeper into this, can we just do a real quick cursory over everything? So, yeah, there's blackface in this movie, and that certainly takes the cake of the awful shit that transpires in this. But there's also, like, I don't know, kind of softcore porn that's incredibly uncomfortable with Diane Carroll.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Diane Carroll.
Huh?
I wouldn't slap any allegedlys on that. That is straight up fucking soft pornography.
It's really uncomfortable to watch. I was like, not a lot makes me uncomfortable. I'm a pretty unfazable person. I was deeply uncomfortable.
It gets even better when you think about he's in the Granddad Wookiee is in the living room where his grandchild is running around.
Yeah, and he's watching hypno porn. He's watching hypno softcore porn.
Also, this creepy motherfucker who brings it to him is just like, hey, here's this. Watch it in the middle of the living room.
All right, if there was like anything that got me through this, it was Bea Arthur, who was by fucking, like, you could not count the amount of miles that exist on the earth in order to say how many miles better than this holiday special she is. Bea Arthur.
No. You know what got me through this holiday special?
But that other guy was also kind of good, and I didn't hate him, but holy shit, that intro.
Well, that guy was all right. You know what got me through this, though? The fact that I learned today at 6 o'clock this morning that Jefferson Starship is canon in the Star Wars universe.
I know, right?
There is a Jefferson Starship Wikipedia page.
They are canon as themselves in the Star Wars universe?
Well, sadly, the holiday special is no longer canon as of Disney's purchase.
Isn't it?
I do not believe so.
Listen, I don't think it is either, but let me have this one. All right? They took Jason and Jaina from me. They took Danel Ka and Lobaka. Give me Jefferson Starship, all right?
Jefferson Starship with the lead singer holding a plutonium microphone. Like,
however, Gormanda,
Jesus.
Of course, of all things to carry over, the blackface cook is still canon.
No.
I'm dead serious.
Absolutely not. No.
I refuse to accept this.
She is referenced in Recipes of Death, which is from Tales Far, Far Away Aliens Volume 1.
That sounds like Disney.
Meaning Disney bought Lucasfilm, decanonized this whole thing, and then brought back the character that has blackface. Allegedly, not even. It's so bad.
Yeah, don't fucking cheapen that by throwing in an allegedly. They did blackface.
I mean, well, here's the thing. You said blackface. You mentioned before I watched this that there was blackface in it, and I went, oh no. But here's a disclaimer. I'm colorblind. So, like, I was giving it the benefit of the doubt as I'm watching this. Like, maybe it's supposed to be green because, aliens. But again, I'm colorblind. It still looks like they're doing blackface.
It's 100% blackface.
Yeah,
Like,
it's straight up to give her a dark skin tone.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna put the picture on the YouTube video because I'm not gonna promote blackface. Like, you'll just have to take our word for it. It's blackface.
I mean, like, you could say, like, yeah, they're trying to, like, portray an alien species, but they could have made the skin color anything.
Yeah, no, there's no excuse. There's literally no excuse.
Yeah.
We just needed as much of the beginning of this podcast. I needed it. I don't know about the others. I needed all of that out because I hate that you've made this a yearly tradition now because I can't deal with that. The rest of this I can deal with. The rest of it is really bad and awful, just like the worst thing ever made. But that
I feel like no, look, see, I have this theory that eventually, like 5 more watches of this thing, and it will have the same effect on us as like a tab of acid would to a normal person. We will enter some.
I mean, I'm gonna watch this with a tab of acid in my system.
We will enter some form of like transcendence.
We're gonna go so far to Nirvana that Nirvana's gonna replace Jefferson Starship in the.
Yeah. Like we're gonna fucking understand Itchy finally. Like,
can we?
Because that's the grandfather's name. It's Itchy.
Itchy.
Chewbacca's father's name is Itchy.
Can I just
Itchy, Chewy, and Lumpy?
Lumpwara. I refuse this.
Lumpy. That is how he's introduced. That is how I will refer to them.
Lumpwara is how he's referred to in the expanded universe. Can I just mention, like, how much of Eldritch horrors both Itchy and Lumpy are? It's like, when I first saw
so much Lumpy.
No, Lumpy is on Eldritch Horror. Lumpy's so much worse. In fact, in my notes I think Lumpy is an Eldritch Horror, not Itchy involved. Lumpy is like... When I first was introduced to this family, which, by the way, how they put a special on TV and decided that they didn't want any of the main cast of Star Wars, including Chewbacca, which they could have done easily, in it, the majority of it. I don't know how they expected this to succeed.
Yeah, well, the worst part of this is the fact that most of it is them fucking talking in, like, Sherwook. And there's no subtitles or anything.
The first, like, 20 minutes of this are just them each, like, roaring at each other. And it's just like... What the fuck is happening?
Nothing. Can you imagine? I like to think back in 1970, whenever the fuck this came out, and it aired. There was like, you know, the parents, they were just like, all right, little Bobby wants to watch this Star Wars holiday special, whatever. And little Bobby's on the floor all excited, just staring at the TV screen. And then this fucking happens. And the parents are just looking at each other like, oh, God.
Little Johnny had a sexual awakening.
What is happening? Oh, Jesus.
1978.
It's like, oh, God, that little Bobby got sent to boarding schools next day.
We must cleanse the sin from you.
I'm going to jump all over the fucking place for this as we
do. No, you lead. Episode. I'm happy to have you lead this episode.
Can I interject real quick?
Sure.
Please.
To make Josh hate me?
Oh, probably. Always.
The animated segment that Josh swore up and down wasn't on the holiday special.
No, I admitted at the end of that whole conversation that it might have been in the Star Wars holiday special, and it was. And it was better than the rest of this.
I have a lot to say about that animated special.
So, like, in order of what happens in the Star Wars holiday special, it's like Bea Arthur being an absolute angel. Like,
isn't that towards the end?
Yeah, but I'm like talking about like.
Oh, like you're talking about quality. Yeah. Gotcha.
Like, Bea Arthur being an absolute angel, just like one of the best to ever do it. Like how she ended up in this. Whoever gigged her for this fucking should be ashamed. The cartoon, which is not good, but it's better than the rest of it, and then everything else like miles below it.
I really need to, before I forget this, because we're going to go so out of order like we do with everything. Carrie Fisher had a lot of problems with drugs in her day. Carrie Fisher is so fucking high during this holiday special. Carrie Fisher is more high in this holiday special than most people have ever been in their entire lives, collectively. Like, she is fucking. There's a scene where she walks in and addresses Chewie's wife, whose name I've forgotten. Where
Mala.
she's like, "Hi, Mala," and she ping pongs off of nothing.
Which, by the way, why does nobody want to talk to Mala in this movie? Nobody wants to talk to Mala in this movie.
She comes in and she's like, "Oh, hi, Mala," and she just fucking zigzags across the floor. I'm like, oh shit.
Everybody in this special calls the fucking Wookiee house to ask them where Chewie is, just so they could be depressed that Chewie's not there.
And then they don't want to talk to Mala.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, Mala, is Chewie there? Oh, well. And then they go away.
Luke also tells Chewie's distressed wife, Mala, to smile when she's upset that her husband might be dead.
Can we talk about fucking Luke for a second?
Can we talk about his makeup?
Yes. Can we talk about eyeliner for a second?
Fucking, what did they do to Mark Hamill?
Pancaked.
It's like, look, we got blackface in this movie, and they put Mark Hamill in like whiteface. Like it's like someone put they found Carrie Fisher's Coke, and someone slammed Mark Hamill's face down into the table.
He looks like a doll. He looks like a doll of Mark Hamill that's been like fucking put outside to dry for a while.
Well, yeah. I will say the reason he's probably so like.
Might have been right after the accident.
Yeah, because that accident was in January of 77. So
you can't convince me they could have done better makeup though.
Listen,
I'm not saying it's good makeup.
Once again, my benchmark for how much something affects me is how much I think I scare my neighbors. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning when I'm watching this. I, by myself in my fucking apartment, my wife had gone to work already. I'm sitting here watching this, and his face pops in the frame, and I went, ah!
Mark Hamill is the creepiest son of a bitch in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, the way he delivers his lines, I don't know what the fuck he was on.
He didn't want to be there is what he was on. He didn't want to be there is what he was on.
Oh, yeah, but his delivery is fantastic. He's like, oh, Chewie's not there. I hope nothing happened. He's like,
be a real shame if something happened.
Luke murdered Chewie.
The thing that struck me the most is watching this, and like, I was amazed knowing that Harrison Ford was in this. And I am now convinced this is what made Harrison Ford refuse to sign on for the last movie right away.
He put on the best performance.
Well, he looks so bored through most of this movie until he's talking to Chewie's wife at the very end, and he walks, and it's so convincing. He's so excited to see her, and that's the one time that he doesn't look bored out of his fucking skull.
Maybe it was just because he had something to. If he had something to sink his teeth into. Like, he did a great job there, and he did a great job in his interactions with Chewie too. When he had to do fucking we're being chased through space, he was fucking bored out of his goddamn mind. But when he had something to bite his teeth into, he was really good in it. Well, he's not as good as Bea Arthur, but.
Oh God.
Who the fuck booked Bea Arthur to be in this? I'm so mad.
Well, the same person who went, you know what we need? We need a Jefferson Starship performance.
Whoever made this was really banking on it being successful. I don't like the checkbook that they use. But like that whole Tatooine, first of all, why? So the Tatooine bit is presented to the stormtroopers, who, by the way, there's stormtroopers threatening kids with guns in this.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go into that before I go into...
This is the most Nazi adjacent the stormtroopers have ever been.
Well,
why are the stormtroopers the most stormtrooper in the shitty holiday special?
It's like you really feel the fascism in this holiday special.
Well, that's the title.
Ringing in the holidays with fascism, just.
But like, yeah, there's the stormtrooper hits a child at one point. Like,
it's fucking wild.
It's upsetting at times. If I didn't look at Lumpy at times and think I was being sucked into his face, like Yog-Sothoth fucking sitting in the presence of Yog-Sothoth, I would really be scared for him.
I realized at a certain point, you know what Lumpy reminds me of? The face. It reminds me of that god-awful Jim Carrey live-action Grinch movie when there's the kid Grinch.
Stop!
And the costume and the makeup is so bad. It's just...
Oh my god.
I had to pause at one point to go grab more coffee, and I achieved a freeze frame close-up of Lumpy's face that will haunt my nightmares.
So I watched this after a long morning D&D session. I laid on top of my bed. I had a long week. I just kind of turned it on, and I think all it was me saying "oh" over and over again for an hour and 40 minutes.
I was really upset watching this morning for an hour and a half, an hour and 38 minutes of my life that I will never get back. I'm a little sad I didn't go with the hour and 58-minute version that had the original commercials.
I almost clicked on that one too.
I didn't know about that one, and I'm thanking whatever entity rules this universe for not directing me in the direction of it, because I might have died. I might have cried. I'm
a little sad, and I kind of would have rather watched the episode of The Incredible Hulk that the narrator let us know would not.
I was about to say, and rip that episode of The Incredible Hulk.
At the beginning and end of the YouTube version of this, it says, The Incredible Hulk will not be coming on this one. Instead, we have a very special presentation for you, the Star Wars Holiday Special starring, and then at the end it says, The Incredible Hulk will return at its regular allotted time slot next week. And I'm like, why didn't anybody look at this and say, let's just keep The Incredible Hulk?
Also, just fuck Kenny Baker, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they actually had Kenny Baker in the suit, but they go through and announce all the characters.
They do that all the time in...
Well,
I do that with R2 and C-3PO all the time.
Well, I did a deep dive today because it's bothered me this morning. That's what I imagine both of you woke up to this morning, was me messaging the Discord server with R2-D2 is billed as R2-D2.
Yeah, so basically at the beginning of this, the narrator goes through all the different characters and announces Luke Skywalker, played by Mark Hamill, and it goes through the whole list. And at the end, it just says, an R2-D2 as R2-D2. It's like, oh, fucking okay.
If I can interject for a second. Because of the original trilogy special features, I knew this firsthand. They used R2-D2 and C-3PO as, the faces of presenting Star Wars in anything they did while on TV. And they were always presented as R2-D2 and C-3PO with no actors present.
But they named Anthony Daniels as
yeah.
Did they in this? Because they didn't in the other stuff.
Yeah, they say C3 Anthony Daniels as C-3PO or some variation thereof.
And if I can also put this there, fuck Kenny Baker, I guess, but also fuck Ben Burt, and in general fuck Ben Burt, because the sounds that you hear that R2 does isn't just random beeps. Ben Burt's voice is in those beeps. And he's never been credited.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, it's a combination of that word and his voice.
All I could fucking think of, because of this fucking podcast, as I'm watching this, is, oh my god, the fucking documentary was right. It was just telling us all along, no, it was R2. This was in the middle of his...
He was there.
Yeah, like this was in the middle of his drug trouble. This holiday special must have made him relapse real hard. Like just doing coke with Carrie Fisher or whatever Carrie Fisher was on, allegedly.
Allegedly, please. Yes, thank you. Yeah, like even all the documentaries from this period also, it was almost like wrestling kayfabe. If you don't know what that means, it's like kayfabe is an old Carney term that essentially means keep it in character. Keep everything you do in character. When you go out, you present yourself like you're in character so that everybody believes you, that you're real, so that they don't know what you're doing is scripted, I guess would be the right term. C-3PO and R2-D2, when they were doing these presentations for Star Wars, were always just C-3PO and R2-D2. When they would do a documentary on the stuff that happens behind the scenes, they would pretend that C-3PO and R2-D2 were real people working beside Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill. So that didn't surprise me. That didn't even affect me. But I will say this is a pattern of things that happened, of just weird kayfabe. Just never stopped.
And it's just... But, like, this case, it's just oddly specific to just Kenny Baker.
Yeah. I can clear this up. I went down a deep dive today. Kenny Baker apparently had no part of this holiday special.
Oh, okay.
Kenny Baker was not in this. It was radio controlled for the most part. So, I mean, basically, fuck the staff that controlled the R2 RC vehicle, essentially.
Yeah.
There's some director, and I didn't write down the name because I'm a professional. There's some director that credits piloting the R2 RC vehicle in the holiday special as like one of his first gigs in Hollywood.
Oh Jesus, what a start!
Yeah.
That's one hell of a resume.
Yeah, but so yeah, I mean, nobody technically played R2 in this, I guess. It's not confirmed. I don't want to say I'm a fucking expert here. It's unclear. Apparently, nobody really knows if Kenny Baker was involved to any extent or not. But the consensus seems to be he was not.
I don't know if I feel better or worse for him. Because, like, on one hand, like, I can't scold them for not crediting him, but on the other hand, like, yeah, fuck Kenny Baker, he didn't even get invited.
Well, I like to think that it was Kenny Baker hearing what was happening, going, Jefferson Starship?
Like it's the buoys or something?
Yeah. Like he's just like, you want me to do what? No, absolutely not. You're going to do what to Mark Hamill? Absolutely not. Y'all are going to lock me in a closet again. Fuck you.
Also, on a similar note, and this is a running theme in Star Wars, fuck Dave Prowse, apparently, I guess?
Yeah, that's a running... Oh, God.
They straight up don't even mention... They're just like, yeah, and Darth Vader, voiced by... fuck.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones, Jesus Christ.
Which, by the way, it's the first time we've mentioned it, because we're fucking idiots.
Are we going to do this holiday special?
Yeah, unfortunately, this is the only time I can think of it right now. David Prowse passed away recently, and
November
David Prowse
29th.
and David Prowse was treated like absolute shit.
Yeah.
Throughout for the entirety of his time in Star Wars, despite being Vader, prototypical Vader, and he deserves a better legacy than what he was left with.
Yes, very much in the same vein as the original voice actor of Boba Fett. Segue.
Okay, I can't believe I'm going to put this in the holiday special, but they brought him back for the Boba Fett documentary and Attack of the Clones to talk with them, and I was so mad. I'm like, because right after that, they took him out of Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. I was so mad.
My God.
Can we, for a moment, because the first thing I did this morning after I was done watching this was call my father, who has never watched this, and regale him with what just happened to me.
I always love how I'm the one who manages to spread this to everyone else.
Yeah. So I had to regale him with this. My favorite bit of this, other than Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, whatever happened to them during the filming of this, my favorite bit of this is this fucking animated special, which I will sum up to you very quickly. They're looking for Han and Chewie. Luke is looking for Han and Chewie. He meets Boba Fett, who's riding something, some kind of creature. Convinces Luke very easily that he has a friend.
Yeah.
And is communicating with Darth Vader the entire time, which R2 is trying to tell Luke the whole time.
And it's very important to the story that we know, because I've now watched this twice in the last 2 months. Yeah. They believe Chewbacca's gone rogue and is the bad guy, because there's a shot sent to them orchestrated by Boba Fett where Chewie's trying to fly the Millennium Falcon with Han Solo hanging from the ceiling of the Millennium Falcon, entirely trapped in ropes. Mm-hmm. So, which in the context of what we're talking about, it's important to note, it didn't just say, and now an animated special. Lumpy is watching this, on a small television.
An animated special that exists within the Star Wars universe.
But so they inevitably find Han and Chewie, and Luke's like, I found you with my friend Boba Fett, and 3PO's like, well, now hold on, Luke. R2 says that Boba Fett's actually not a friend, and it just cuts to Boba Fett going, drats, well, I'll see you again, and then he jetpacks off. It's like, wait.
Can we talk about the faces in this animated?
Why? What's going on with Han's face?
The faces in this almost look like, and especially Han Solo, look like a live color cartoon of those political ads that you see in the newspaper. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Han's face is like 2 feet tall and like 6 inches wide.
Like, Han's face first popped into this animated special, and I looked at it and went, is this offensive? like I looked at it for a solid minute, and I was like, should someone be offended about this?
Like the entire atmosphere.
For some context, the reason Lumpy's watching this is because the Imperials just started raiding their house, so he needed to look like he was doing something. So he watches rebellion propaganda to make them think he's not part of the rebellion.
This fucking holiday special is so insane. I can't, I'm trying to hit the high points, and I keep forgetting about shit.
Lumpy scares the Imperials away by watching a tutorial video on how to put a fucking radio broadcaster together, and then sending a message on repeat that says, return to base. Return to base.
Which is done by an android of some kind who keeps having major malfunctions the entire time. Obviously, for comedic effect.
This fucking robot guy, you realize this man plays 4 roles in this holiday special.
Oh, is this the blackface guy?
This is the blackface guy, and this is also the guy who's harassing Bea Arthur.
We'll get to that.
He also plays some other role, and I don't remember what currently, but he's in this 4 times. He plays 4 separate characters.
My favorite character is the goddamn fucking shopkeeper.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Who is just the most terrified person I've ever seen in Star Wars.
When he's in the shop and there's that Imperial that's slowly shopping, and he's trying to talk to Mala and the rest of the family and make sure that he doesn't know that he's a Rebel sympathizer, the Imperial, he offers him some kind of pet fish. And the best line in this entire holiday special is just this guy putting on his best evil voice and saying,
I hate fish.
I fucking died. I died.
Oh my god.
The best possible presentation ever. It's so fucking good in its badness.
This is the most absurd fucking thing I've ever... Like, I can't... One watch of this was not enough for me to fucking absorb all of this.
Don't want to watch it again, though. Like,
we're gonna do it every fucking year, Josh.
hate
Buckle the fuck
this.
up.
Jesus
so much.
Christ.
Here we are. This is what our lives have become.
This feels like revenge. This feels like calculated revenge from you, Chris.
So fucking at one point everyone stops what they're doing. They're in the middle of raiding this Wookiee household on Life Day. And everyone has to stop what they're doing immediately because there's a propaganda fucking
Oh my god, yes.
Tatooine show that comes on. And halfway through the Tatooine show, there's another transmission. But it also, like, it shows up at the house, but also on Tatooine. So, like, is this just being recorded live?
No, that's the thing. This piece of propaganda that Bea Arthur leads, I can only call it, and I'm saying this having never watched an episode of Cheers fully all the way through, except randomly seeing it on the TV at my family home, walking through. Misogynistic Cheers is what it is, which I assume original Cheers was misogynistic, but that's neither here nor there. The entire idea of this Bea Arthur piece is that she is a regular gal, owner of a cantina on Tatooine, and it's rough times. And there's this guy with a volcano head that comes in to harass her. Apparently she has this thing she says to everybody that leaves, and he got like stalkerish when he said it to her, and he was like,
Yeah,
I'm in love with you.
Really up in her fucking personal space about it.
Like, I love you. I fell in love with you the moment we met, and I'm so broken, but I feel like we can be together forever. And like he harasses her for an uncomfortable amount of time.
There's literally a moment where he like grabs her from behind and just like holds on and is like, I came in here for a drink, but I found love. It's like, oh Jesus, dude.
She's like, please let me go, please let me go. But keep in mind, this is all a piece of Imperial propaganda. While this is going on, Bea Arthur, who I don't believe has a name in this, I could be wrong, but I don't believe has a name, so I believe
she's canon as well as Jefferson Starship.
She doesn't deserve that. She's too good for that. There's an Imperial transmission in the piece of propaganda. It's not live. It happens in the piece of propaganda that they're setting an early curfew to Tatooine, and it fucks up her entire cantina. It ruins her business for the night, and she's going to get shut down if she doesn't get everybody out. But everybody in the cantina is drunk as shit, and also assholes.
Real quick, Josh, her name is Akmina, and she's also canon.
I'm just going to keep calling her Bea Arthur because she deserves to be referred to by name.
That's fair.
She doesn't deserve to be referred to by name because Hollywood should forget that this is a stain on her legacy that her fucking handlers put her through. Because she doesn't deserve this. She did not deserve this.
Who doesn't want to be remembered for the Star Wars holiday special?
I mean, she is
aired how many times? Once? Did this air more than one time before they tried to bury it?
I know who wants to be known for being in the holiday special, and that's my buddy Trinto Duaba.
Hey, yeah, Trinto Duaba is in this.
Who does appear in the holiday special.
That guy is precious. But no, it's not another Imperial transmission. It's an Imperial transmission that happens inside the piece of propaganda.
Okay.
Which is batshit. Because it paints the Imperials in such a dickish light.
Yeah, it's so the whole point of the transmission that shows up in the show is like, hey, we're closing down your establishment.
It's not just her establishment, it's every establishment. And anyone that is in violation of it will have their cantina shut down permanently.
I do appreciate that they went into it in like further books and such, where they went like, that was like totally her cantina. And during the events of A New Hope, she was just in the back office, and that's why we didn't see her.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But anyway, she essentially tries to convince all these Cantina people to leave, and they won't leave. She goes over to them and she begs them. All these people that they owe her favors, they owe her money, and they turn their fucking cheek to her. So she has to give the entire Cantina a free round. She's singing to them to get them to leave. She has to trick them to leave because these pieces of shit cannot appreciate her in any way, shape, or form. And then at the end of it, this entire imperial piece of propaganda that is supposed to pay it's mandatory watch for the Imperials, so much so that they were in the middle of a raid and they had to stop and watch this. This piece that paints them in the worst light possible. At the end of it, she turns and fucking Volcano Head that dumps fucking entire buckets of fucking space ale into his directly into the middle of his fucking goddamn head is there, and it's assumed that she ends up with him, and it makes me so angry. Bea Arthur, who put you in this position?
Josh, do you want to be made happy by this situation?
No. Sure.
No, do you?
Sure.
In current canon, Acmena, a human female, lived in the Delkin Ridge of the Outer Rim world of Tatooine along with her wife, Sorshi.
Fuck yes, that's dope. That is dope canon. Fuck that guy. Fuck yes, that is dope.
How did we get through the whole of the Bea Arthur scene without addressing the giant space hamster? I need
in the intro to the Space Cantina Bea Arthur scene, they show deleted scenes from Tatooine and actual scenes from Tatooine from A New Hope, and fucking Khaki Legs is there as well.
Yep.
If
That's
for
why
some reason you watch this and not the podcast.
When you brought that up on the A New Hope special features, I was very confused when you sent the still to me, because I was like, wait.
That's the thing that scares me the most. I realized is if there's an episode of this fucking podcast that could possibly get picked up by a wider audience just because of search terms on YouTube, it's probably this one. And oh my god, if you have listened to all of this so far and you don't know what the rest of what we're about, move on with your lives. Don't just leave it here. Make this a stain on your day in the same way that the Star Wars Holiday Special was a stain on mine.
Yeah. It's just like this whole thing is the most insane fucking thing possible. It's like an assault. I feel like you two punched me in the face I feel like I was violently attacked for like an hour and 40 minutes. I have war scars from it. I have that shake going on where you've just been in a fight and you're trying to calm down and you can't quite.
It really does. Like, this is a thing that fucking happened to me this morning. Like, I get it. It really is. Like, oh god.
It's extreme trauma is what it feels like. I appreciate Star Wars now. We don't have, even if we make this a yearly thing, this is the kind of content we could have watched every week forever.
Oh my god.
Imagine that. There are people who have done this kind of thing every week for even a year. We don't appreciate the 9 Star Wars movies enough.
You know what makes me really sad? I had all of this happen to me today. I was assaulted by Lumpy and Itchy and
Scratchy and
Diane Carroll for some reason. I still don't know what Life Day is.
Life Day is a holiday where a bunch of Wookiees walk in space and then Princess Leia sings at them.
But it's not just Wookiees, apparently. It's everyone.
Yeah.
Except the Empire.
Speaking of, you wanted to talk about the other holiday special. I
Oh
feel
God,
like
yeah.
maybe it can shed a light on what Life Day is.
We'll do this pretty quickly, I guess. No, because I don't want to talk about it too much because it's fairly new and I want people to experience it because it's actually fun. I enjoyed the Lego
It's
Star
fun
Wars
if
Holiday Special.
you take it for what it's supposed to be, like a
Yeah.
lighthearted, just kind of like
It's
it's fun. It's just a fun little. I liked it.
it's really fun. It's confusing. It's clearly not canon because it's batshit. It's just
I only watched it in.
fun.
I was assaulted by it accidentally by YouTube videos, and I watched it out of order, and I had no idea what the fuck was going on, other than there was some time travel, maybe?
Yes.
I thought messaging Chris as I watched it, and I just went, yes, there's a pod race, and Josh replied, like, why would you do this to me? I'm like, oh, you're not Chris.
No, I was struck. I think I messaged somebody, and I was like, "There's actual plot in this, like important plot in the first like, 5 minutes."
That was the Discord.
Because spoilers, very clearly, I want to mark this as spoiler because this is new content.
Spoilers.
So spoilers for the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. I say as an almost 30-year-old man. Rey is training Finn to be a Jedi.
Yeah. And it's a weird scene too, because like he gets so fucking angry during it.
And I want to say, given the given what's transpired recently with the actor that plays Finn, whose name is escaping me at the moment,
John Boyega.
Their portrayal of Finn in the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special is kind of gross, because he's kind of played as a moron, as is Poe. Poe is also kind of played up as a moron, and again, it's goofy. It's goofy Lego kid stuff, but Rey is still totally normal and serious. But the other two are played up as big old morons.
So is Kylo. Kylo is played up as like number one fanboy.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really weird because like that's the one. It's like kind of serious actual plot development post Rise of Skywalker, but then also weird time travel and bullshit and porgs and hilarious Palpatine, and it is. I would suggest watching it. It's an experience. I mean, this comes out. It's Christmas.
Yeah, it'll be Christmas morning.
Yeah, you're home.
Which, if you spent Christmas morning listening to this, God bless you.
Take some time out of your day today and watch the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. It is from a cynical Star Wars fan, as I think I've proven myself to be. As I've said, unless you're discovering this for the first time, and don't fucking listen to me. Go watch the Lego Star Wars Christmas Holiday Life Day Special, whatever it is. It's fun. It's an enjoyable experience for all ages for Star Wars fans, and it won't make you angry because it means nothing. The original Holiday Special, however, I'll never recover from.
I will recommend the original Holiday Special.
No.
Every year.
No.
For the... So, the group of friends I share with Josh, Chris isn't really as involved in this group of friends, but they have we have a collective playlist we all add music onto. Today, I added Jefferson Starship onto that playlist.
You son of a bitch.
I want to make it very clear also. Like, I really like Jefferson Starship. My grandmother loved Jefferson Starship, so I'm very familiar with them. Didn't make it any less fucking jarring for them to show up in Star Wars today. If anything, it made it more jarring. Because, like, if I'm like, I don't know, like a fucking 15-year-old or whatever who finds this on YouTube and goes, I don't know what this is. It must be some actual Star Wars. It must be some made-up Star Wars band. And it's fine. No, I know Jefferson Starship. I'm very aware of them. It's really weird to learn that at one point they were canon in the Star Wars universe. Han Solo's really excited to see Lumpy, and then he kind of throws him into Chewbacca's arms, which is the funniest fucking part of this, because he legitimately throws this small child into Peter Mayhew's arms. And it's very clearly the point at which Harrison Ford was fed the fuck up with this, and he just goes, well, and he just literally, it's a hilarious shot where he throws this kid.
It's like, I'm giving the acting performance of my life, and why throw? Mm-hmm. Also, like, if I had Lumpy in my arms, that fucking little fucking Yog-Sothoth dream nightmare, I would definitely throw him too. It's like, it's so weird to think that a character, not prevalent, but a decently featured character named Lumpwara has its origins right here. This person is who that is.
Can I read an excerpt real quick?
I'd prefer you didn't, but go.
It involves Jefferson.
Please.
Okay.
Light the Sky on Fire, which is the song that they sing, was a song sung by a band of human musicians and was popular on Kashyyyk during the Galactic Civil War. At the same time, a song entitled Hyperdrive was also a hit on Kashyyyk. So, Jefferson Starship isn't canon in name, but one of their songs is, and a band of humans.
Do we have any more to say about the Star Wars Holiday Special?
I have much more to say, but we can only be here so long.
I mean, come on, go.
Josh, I don't even know how to process all of what I have to say. Lumpy has an existential crisis at the beginning.
He's like,
Lumpy and I shared that.
He runs outside and just looks down from the tree, and I'm just like, oh no.
It fades out and there's helicopters in the background.
Yeah. He walks outside because he's not getting along with Mala because Mala wants him to do chores, and he like goes outside and like it's Kashyyyk, and if you don't know what Kashyyyk is like, it's like tree houses far above the ground, because Kashyyyk is generally, with the exception of the beaches that are shown in Revenge of the Sith, which, by the way, the people who worked on Kashyyyk and Revenge of the Sith went back to this and watched this to get an idea, and it's just the most batshit insane thing. But anyway.
And that's reflected in the fact that you can see Jefferson Starship in the background.
Lumpy walks out and essentially climbs up on the railing of the home, the family home, and starts to just walk across it, precariously perched and very not even on this fucking railing overlooking what is miles fucking down. Like, there's an entire Shadowlands at the bottom of Kashyyyk.
Which is demonstrated later on when Han Solo murders a man.
Han Solo jukes a man to death in this movie.
He fakes a stormtrooper out who crashes through the railing and falls to his death. Which then, when the Imperials send out a transmission looking for the stormtrooper, the friend of the family tells them the stormtrooper robbed them. And
which, by the way, I was going to end the podcast with this, but we might end it anyway. I don't know how long we're going to talk about this, because we could go on for a long time.
Why I asked if anyone had anything else to say about it. I was trying to give us an out, but the existential nightmare continues.
There's no way in hell that the Imperials did not, based on the way they act in this fucking special, that they entirely bought that story and did not in any way return to that home at any point in the coming days.
Yeah.
I know they lived on in the EU because obviously they did, and there's a lot that they're involved with, especially in the Legacy of the Horse series that Chris loves. But there's no way Amala and the family weren't fucking imprisoned at some point after this a couple days later.
I mean, in the context of this holiday special, they got Uncle Owen and Aunt Berude real quick after this fucking holiday special, right? Like, there was...
I just can't think of a scenario where they weren't killed or captured directly after this. Because the way it ends is like such a clear fucking lie. And that in the lie that they tell is reliant on that stormtrooper being seen alive again. There's no fucking way on planet Earth that they, well, it's not, whatever, that they did not in some way get taken into Imperial custody directly after Life Day. It's like a bandage on the wound so that they can celebrate this stupid holiday.
There are 8 different Malas on Wikipedia.
Well, on that note,
Yeah.
from the Star Wars Every Week Forever family to yours, whatever you celebrate, happy Life Day, I guess.
Happy Life Day. Chris.
Bye.
We're gonna end just ring in the holidays with this holly jolly bullshit.
We're gonna end this as ceremoniously as the holiday special ended.
You're gonna do a line of coke and sing to us?
Yep.
Carrie Fisher sings at the end of this too. It's like...
There are 3 musical numbers in this.
One of which is involved in hypnoporn.
There's 4 musical numbers in.
We have to end this. We'll pick this back up a year from now when we're all drunk.
I don't want to.
And...
I don't want to.
God. This has been Star Wars Every Christmas Forever. Happy Life Day.
Fuck me.